Nothing happens until a sale is made. Have you heard this phrase? It's from Thomas Watson Jr. or Jr. I think. He was the president of IBM way back in the day. He's the one who coined this phrase, and basically what he was saying was like, nothing else matters in your business until you can make the sale, no matter what your problems of supply chains or pricing or anything else. You have to make a sale before you can make anything else happen. And if you don't have sales techniques, if you don't have sales skills, and you want to own a business, you want to work for somebody else, those are pretty much your two options. A sale has to be made for businesses to be successful, so you need to learn some sales skills. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about some sales experience that I've had in the past, and I'm going to give you the number one sales skill that I think will make you a better salesperson, whether you're selling timeshares or real estate or widgets or shoes or vacations or cruises. It doesn't matter what you're selling. I'm going to give you a couple tips that are going to make you better at what you do. I have had quite a few different sales jobs throughout my life. I won't call it throughout my career because I've done a lot of different things, but the truth is they've all been focused on sales. I've had sales focused jobs. I realized very early on that I didn't want to go to a job for an hourly wage. I wanted to go to a job where I could earn as much as I possibly could based on how good I was at what I was doing. And the only way you can do this is with a sales job. So I'm not naturally a good salesperson. I'm not the guy that walks up and just talks to everybody at a party or at the bar. I'm not necessarily an introvert, but I have to build some rapport before my sparkly, bubbly personality pops out. So that's not what you need to be just a genuinely great salesperson out of the box with no training, with no experience. Sales is something you have to get good at. But there's some tips that I can help you with along the way. Everyone can see a sales pitch coming from a mile away. The first thing that my sales trainer taught me was never call it a sales pitch, always call it a presentation. Because if you just want to give a presentation to somebody about your product, it's way better than trying to pitch it to them to buy it. So whenever you're trying to sell somebody to something, don't think in the back of your mind, I hope they buy this. Think, I hope they understand how this can help them or how this product works or why this will make their life better. If you can truly believe that, you're a step ahead of the game in just trying to get to the end result of a sale. The sale will happen if the person realizes the need for the product or the service that you're selling. So you've got to believe that they will truly be better by having your product or service. That's the first tip in being a good salesperson. I think the second tip to being a great salesperson, and this is a hard one, especially when you're starting out, is to not show how hungry you are for the sale. If they don't think you need the sale, that you're, again, trying to help them in some way, then you don't seem as desperate. When you're, like there's a saying that says when you chase money, it runs. The reason you're chasing it is because it's running from you, because it sees how desperate you are. So if you can genuinely try to just exhale and put all the pressure out that you're not going to have dinner tonight if you don't make the sale, or your kid's not going to get shoes, or you're not going to be able to pay your rent, try to just forget about the pressure of needing the sale and have the pressure be on that you do a good job to convey what you're selling. And if the person can pick up on that, you will be more successful in sales. I talk a little bit about in 2008 when I went broke, and I talk a little bit about how I rebuilt back up over $1 million net worth by buying real estate. I don't talk about some of the things I did in between there. Like when I first went broke, I was out in Montana. I moved out to South Carolina. I found out that owning a mortgage company and being an entrepreneur and all these things that I had done did not make me very employable in the regular market. I didn't want to work for a bank or something like that. I was just trying to find a job like being a bartender or being a waiter or something just to get some money flowing in so I could get back on my feet. And nobody wanted to hire me, so I started looking back into sales jobs, which is where I started when I was right out of college. I was in sales, selling advertising. And I found a job working for a local newspaper. Actually, I didn't work for the newspaper. I worked for a third-party company trying to sell subscriptions to the Charleston Register newspaper, whatever it was called. And basically, I would go every morning super early, and I'd get a stack of 50 newspapers, and then I'd be assigned to a grocery store, and I'd go stand in front of a grocery store, and I'd say, "Good afternoon, sir. Would you like a free copy of the newspaper today?" And they'd say, "Oh, thank you." I'd say, "Hey, if you do enjoy the newspaper, I was wondering if a Sunday and Wednesday subscription would work better for you, if you just prefer to get a daily subscription." This, my friends, is called the assumed close. It's not saying, hey, would you like to purchase a subscription from me because I would be happy to sell you one? No. That's not how you sell something. I would say, hey, well, if you do like the newspaper, do you think you'd prefer to get a Sunday and Wednesday subscription? Would that be enough for you? Or would you just prefer to get it every day of the week? It's not that much more to get it every day. And they would say, oh, well, how much does it cost? But if I said, would you like to buy a subscription? They would say, no, thank you, but thanks for the free newspaper. So the assumed sale is one of the most successful sales tactics. So the assumed close is the number one sales technique. If you don't know that one, that's the one thing I want you to get out of this video. If you're in sales, if you're going into sales, if you want to do sales, learn how to do that assumed close. Don't give somebody a choice between yes or no. Give them a choice between red or green today, tomorrow. I won't get into closing them at the table today. That's a topic for another discussion. But if you can give them a choice that's different from yes or no, the assumed close, like if you can upsell them, if you're selling them something already, then don't say, would you also like to buy this? Say, hey, I'm glad you signed up for the newspaper. As a bonus, we're offering this Yeti tumbler. Would you like it in green or yellow? It's only $10 extra. They go, oh, I'll take the green one. Don't say, would you like to spend $10 extra to buy this cup? Oh, I had like 5 phone calls in the middle of this video, so I had to stop it and start it. It's all chopped up. This is one of the few, this is the last video I did. Sitting right here next to my camera. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 pages of notes. I didn't have any notes, so I was trying to just wing this one, and so I kept getting interrupted. So hopefully my train of thought stayed focused and you could understand what I'm doing here. So remember, sales pays you what you're worth, not an hourly rate for your time. Present the product or service. Don't give a sales pitch. Don't look desperate. Believe that you're helping somebody by having them purchase what it is you're selling to them. And whenever possible, use the assumed sales method. And if you're in your 20s or your teens and you're trying to think about what kind of job to get, find a sales job. Even if you're in your 30s or your 40s and you never had a sales job, it'll make you better at every business you want to start, every other job you want to do. You've got to be able to sell yourself. I'm a real estate agent right now, and people think real estate agents sell property. We don't sell property. That used to be the case back in the day when the information was all kept in the MLS and the realtors were the only ones that had access to it. But now that information is out there. It's available. We don't sell houses anymore. Most real estate agents are just door unlockers. But you have to be able to sell yourself and the services that you provide. You know, a lot of times, here's a real estate sales tip. As a listing agent, I get people all the time that ask me, well, could you do it for a reduced fee? And I say, no, I can't, because if I can't stand up for what I'm worth, how can I stand up for what your house is worth? I want to get you the top dollar for your house, and if I'm going to immediately crumble and do it for cheaper, the first time somebody tells me, oh, the house is pink and we want a blue house, I'm going to say, well, just knock off 25 grand for a new paint job. You know, that's not how I work. That's not how I represent your property. It's not how I represent myself. So that's another good key, is you got to be able to stand up and know what your own worth is. So there's a lot of ins and outs to sales. I just wanted to do a sales video to see what you guys think about it with some sales tips, because it's the most important skill you can learn in your economic life. More important than saving money, I think, and making money. It's the key to making money is being good at sales. So I want to put this out there. I want to see if you guys like it. If you did, smash that like button for me. Show me some love. Tell me that you want more of this type of content. If you don't like it, hit the like button twice. And if you haven't subscribed, boom, hit that subscribe button down there. If you keep supporting me, I'll keep making more of this content for you. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video. Yep.